What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Glad you can join me. Hope you're well. This is my second attempt. I'm not gonna lie, that whole buzzing sound that I've been having in my recent videos was just too much yesterday. I couldn't even run with it slightly. So this is my review slash small preview to the Arsenal versus Olympiacos game, which we won 3-1, and also the small little preview to the Spurs game coming up this Sunday. Before doing anything, as usual, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Every time I upload a video, you'll be notified. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Me CJ Wright, Kringle Talks Football, and also my podcast journey, Kringle Talks Football, available on all platforms. Links are in the description below. A bit of a lineup rundown of what we're doing as usual. Lineup, good bad performances, what it means going forward, linked in with a bit of the Spurs review, and then a bit of a closing. So pretty straightforward. Let's do it. Line-up on the screen now. Leno, Bellerin, Luiz, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey and Xhaka in the midfield with Saka, Odegaard, Willian and Aubameyang. Bellerin and Gabriel came in for Chambers and Mari from the weekend's game, so not much of a difference in terms of the setup in which we played. And, you know, the opening 7 minutes, let's say, we could have been 2-0 up early doors. First instant was, you know, beautiful play down the left-hand side from Tierney, crossed it into Odegaard, and it's the second time in as many weeks that he's got into a decent position from that, and either hit it wide or over. This time it was just wide of the post, and then, you know, three minutes later, Bellerin who was fantastic all night, went down the right-hand side, played the cross into Aubameyang, his header deflected off of I was going to try to say it for now, I just couldn't do it. Off of Socrates' shoulder, and the keeper made a really good save. And you thought it was one of those ones again where it's, you know, continuous amount of pressure, continuous this and that, and we just don't make the chances count. But we did on the 34th minute. Martin Odegaard picked the ball up again from Bellerin on the inside of the right hand channel. Cut inside, there was so much space for him to go into, and he just absolutely levered the ball into the back, and I think it was about 60 miles per hour, they said, on BT Sport at half time. And don't get me wrong, question marks over the keeper, he sort of just flapped at the ball, but it was a great shot nonetheless, and it was quite nice to see him pick up the ball and drive with it and take the shot on when the option of a pass wasn't there. So going into it, going towards half time, you know, very comfortable. Like I said, we could have been 2 or 3 up, and then Arsenal decide they want to play from the back again. Play from the back all night. They'll probably worked 8 times out of 10, let's say. David Luiz picked up the ball from Leno, tried to cut back inside and play it into the central midfield from his left foot. Their player cut it out, and, you know, not being a really poor shot, which went just over and just wide, Arsenal could have been in trouble. And you thought we might kick that out of the game early doors, but it came back to haunt us again. And, you know, going into half time, we've got a bit of stats here: 58% possession, 5 shots on target, 90% pass completion rate over the whole squad. Xhaka with a 98% pass completion rate, Gabriel 95%, Partey 90%, Aubameyang specifically as well himself as the centre forward. 3 shots, 2 on target, 1 which was blocked. So, you know, very productive first half from the boys. And what can we say? Going into the second half, yeah, it was that flat period again that we keep having, and, you know, they made us pay for it, and we made ourselves pay for it, should I say. Leno played the ball to Ceballos, and it was a question of Ceballos in the middle, surrounded by 2 players. You can't put the blame on Ceballos this time; it has to be on Leno now, because he had an option to his right, he had an option to his left, and he played it straight into Ceballos in the middle. When he had surrounded by 2 players, he lost the ball. Olympiacos player, I think it's El Arabi, bottom corner, curled it from the outside into the bottom of the corner. Arsenal have conceded 14 goals in 2021 so far. Half of them, exactly 7 of them, have been through unforced defensive errors. And, you know, it's just our own doing all the time. And you thought now this was one of those ones where, again, we dominate the ball, we dominate possession, we dominate the play, should be 2-3 up, we give a stupid goal away, and then we end up either drawing or losing. Thankfully, it wasn't the case. You know, we were preparing to bring Elneny on at the time, and I was getting messages myself. I've seen it on Twitter. Elneny's coming on, for fuck's sake, why? Blah, 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 blah. And then just before that happened, we played the short corner. Willian picked up the ball, crossed it in over the top, and Gabriel, with an absolutely beautiful header, in fairness, sort of looped back over the keeper. That's now Gabriel's third goal of the season. Incidentally, all 3 goals have come from Willian assists. And incidentally, that's Willian's 7th assist of the season. Just by comparison, I think Charles Watts put it out there, so I'm not taking credit for it at all. But in Mesut Ozil's last 2 seasons in North London, which he played 59 games, he only registered 6 assists, and Willian's done it in less than half the time. So I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. But we made a triple substitution. Pepe, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Elneny came on for Willian, Odegaard, and Saka. And then on the 7 minutes later, on the 85th minute, Elneny picked up the ball similar to Odegaard, sort of was in so much space, drove through the middle of the pitch and levered one into the back of the net, hit the post, went in. All 4 of his Arsenal goals have come in Europe, 3 in the Europa League and 1 in the Champions League. And yeah, he only really scores bangers, doesn't he? It wasn't a great banger, but it was a banger nonetheless. So, listen, 3-1 win over Olympiacos away from home going into the return leg. You've got to be pleased with that. So I'll go into the good and bad performances. And listen, I've been his critic a long time. We need an upgrade regardless. I don't care how he played, but we need an upgrade. But Hector Bellerin was as outstanding last night, up and down the pitch. It was excellent all game. And like I said, in the first half, he could have set up a goal for Aubameyang early doors. He didn't. He was involved in the link-up play, which got Odegaard's goal. And defensively, sound, with no problem whatsoever. And then the other one, side note for Fiorentina, I thought he was outstanding again. He gave their right back, I think his name's Lala, absolute hell all first half. And the second half, they cut it out because they realised just how good Tierney was that first half. But the second player I'm going to go for is Gabriel. You can't, he came in for his first game back in for about 3 or 4 games, I'm pretty sure. Mari's played a couple of the games, Louisa played on the left, and Gabriel came back in, and his numbers are up on the screen now, but 100% conversion rate, 100% aerials won, 90% pass accuracy. He had 80 touches on the night, 5 ball recoveries, 3 clearances, 2 tackles, 2 out of his 2 aerial challenges, 1, 2 blocks. He won a foul, he drew a foul in, 1 interception, 1 goal and an assist, and he wasn't dribbled past at all. So stats by numbers, that's what it is, and again, he's now making a case for him to start against Spurs. I thought this might be the fact because Mari's going to come in on the weekend, but listen, Gabriel played like that, you can't look past it really. And then, listen, side note, I thought the referee had an outstanding game as well. He made every decision, got every decision right. And when the question marks were over the VAR decision for Gabriel's goal, he erred on the side of common sense. And Yaman Villa, I think that was his medical last night, according to Ben Fairthorne. Side joke for everybody who knows about that incident back in the day. But Gabriel jumped up, Yaman Villa didn't even move, and he headed it, beautiful header. And listen, like I said, the referee outstanding all night. Poor performances. As far as poor performances really go, it wasn't a case of mad poor performances, but Leno, just for their goal, we've just recovered from the Burnley game, in which he's involved in it. Like I said, I weren't holding the blame on him, I held it on Xhaka, but this one definitely was his. Like I said, he had an option out to the right hand side, he had an option out to the left, just think it over. He doesn't, he plays it into the middle, into Ceballos, and puts him in real danger early on. And then the other one, I thought, Thomas Partey, he's still not 100% fit, and he didn't have his best of games last night. Not by his fault in any stretch of imagination. We took him off after 60 minutes, still trying to get that rhythm into his legs. And he's only going to get better, in fairness. But yeah, last night wasn't his game at all. What it means going forward, a little bit of a Spurs review. Like I said, going into the game against Spurs, it's a must-not-lose game. Because Arteta hasn't beaten Jose Mourinho yet. He's lost both games so far. And this is just one of those games where he needs to get a win over him, or at least a performance. At this stage, I'll probably take a 0-0 when the form that Kane's in. He's got 2 goals last night when they're 2-0 win. Gareth Bale's coming into some form. Heung-min Song, as well. And then just the rest of their team as well. They look like they're playing football again, and they look like they're getting into form again. So it's definitely a game we need to win, or at least not lose. And then taking that momentum, taking that confidence into the game against Olympiacos is what we need to do. Which, in the home leg, we can't lose that home leg. As simple as that. So, closing statement, like I said, overall good performance by Arsenal. Very controlled from start to finish, other than the lapse in concentration or mistake from Leno. We controlled the game, the whole game. Olympiacos are really, really bad. I must admit, they are really bad. I didn't expect them to be this bad, but they were. They didn't show anything. Like I said, we were beating them on right and left side of our wing backs all night. At times we were playing like a 2-3-5 in terms of Bellerin and Antini siding in with the front three, and then you had sort of a midfield three of Xhaka, Partey and Odegaard, with David Luiz and Gabriel just sitting at the back waiting for something to happen. The best thing about last night was the fact that once we conceded, we responded really well. When I say responded really well, the next sort of 15 minutes after we conceded 20 minutes was really flat. We're sort of going through the motions yet again, like we did against Burnley, but this time we got the goals. And not only did we get the first goal from Gabriel, but we got that second and the third goal, which gives us a 2-goal advantage against Olympiacos going into the second leg. And hopefully, again, just that momentum, keep building, good performances, because, I'll run through what I think is a predicted lineup potentially against Spurs, and I probably would say we're going to go with the same back five. I think Bellerin just about done enough last night to warrant a start against Spurs. I don't think he'll get as much time on the ball or as much space on the ball against Sergio Reguilon, but I'll go with Leno, Bellerin, Gabriel, Luiz, and Tierney in the back, and I probably will go Xhaka and Partey again. The front three behind Aubameyang's a bit of an odd one, because Odegaard, as well he played and as really good he did, I think a front three of Saka, Smith Rowe and Pepe behind Aubameyang is what I would go with, just because I think the way in which Smith Rowe can link with the two of them, having your two number 10s and your two sort of goal scorers, as Clive from the Arsenal Vision podcast likes to put it, it makes so much more sense having two goal threats rather than just relying on Aubameyang or relying on maybe a header from a corner. And if you look at Elneny and Gabriel's goals, their XG for the goals were like less than 0 or less than 1, so it wasn't expected. But I'm going to leave it there, and like I said at the start, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I load a video, you'll be notified. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch and on my podcast journey. Let's hope for an Arsenal win against those lot down the road, and I will speak to you after that game, which is Mother's Day. So to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day firstly. Guys, take care.